All right, let's look at the practice exam 3, problem number 7. All right, so we're going to use this formula to find the Laplace transform of 1 minus cosine of 2t over t. All right, so let's do that. All right, so if you compare this, you can see that this part right here, 1 minus cosine of 2t is going to be f of t. All right, so we're going to let f of t is equal to 1 minus cosine of 2t, right? Then we can take the Laplace transform of this. So if you take the Laplace transform, of course, this is going to become capital F of s, right? And then Laplace transform of 1 is 1 over s, and a minus. Laplace transform of cosine of 2t would be s over s squared plus 2 squared, right? K is 2, so 2 squared, right? So we have that, right? Then it says that the Laplace transform of f of t over t is simply the integral of what we just found from s to infinity, right? So let's compute that. So we want to compute the integral from s to infinity, right? Then f of sigma would be, so we have to write in terms of sigma. So you're going to have 1 over sigma minus sigma over sigma squared plus 2 squared. I'm going to just go ahead and write 4 here, right? Then with respect to sigma, right? So first thing I want to do is I want to use this, the formula. So integral of g prime of x over g of x with respect to x is natural log of the absolute value of g of x plus c, right? So this guy has almost that form because if you take the derivative, you're going to get 2 sigma. We only have 1 sigma. So what we can do is I can put 2, which is what I want, then multiply by 1/2 so that we don't change anything, right? So this is going to be equal to, right? Antiderivative 1 over sigma would be natural log of absolute value of sigma, right, minus, there's a 1/2, so it's going to be 1/2. Then this is going to be a natural log of absolute value of sigma squared plus 4. Right, then this is going from s to infinity, right? Then I'm going to do a log property here. So you have 1/2 here. So I'm going to scratch the 1/2 in front and put it right here. But 1/2 power is equivalent to square root. So I'm going to put the square root right here. Right, and we don't really need the absolute value sign because sigma squared plus 4 is never going to be negative. So we're just going to have that, right? Then we can combine these two since it's a subtraction. So we can put it as a single log. So you have a natural log of, right, sigma over square root of sigma squared plus 4, right? Then we are going from s to infinity, right? So since s is going to be positive and they're going to infinity, so we don't really need the absolute value sign because sigma is not going to be negative. All right, so then what you get is here. Now we actually have to make sure, we have to actually take the limit of sigma going to infinity, because you plug in infinity, of natural log of sigma over square root of sigma squared plus 4, right? Then minus and plug in s. So you have natural log of s over square root of s squared plus 4, right? Then here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide top and bottom by 1 over the sigma. So I'm going to multiply top by 1 over sigma, multiply bottom by 1 over sigma, right? Then what you get is going to be, so we still need to take the limit as sigma goes to infinity. You have a natural log of, so sigma divided by sigma is 1 over square root of, right? So once you put the 1 over sigma inside the square root, it becomes 1 over sigma squared. So you have a sigma squared divided by sigma squared would be 1. Then you have a 4 divided by sigma squared. All right, then here, I'm going to incorporate this negative sign. I'm going to turn it into positive here. Then we can just raise it to the 1/2 power, which is just taking a reciprocal. So which means that you're going to get the plus natural log of square root of s squared plus 4 over s, right? Then here, we can see that here, as the sigma goes to infinity, 4 divided by sigma squared approaches 0. So you have a natural log of 1, which is 0. So this part is actually natural log of 1, which is 0. Right? So only thing you have is natural log of square root of s squared plus 4 over s. Right? So that is the answer that we're looking for. Right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.